So, first of all, this subject, as we said, is called science and technology. Okay? That means we'll be reporting on the science and technology. And a number of journalists are afraid of reporting on science. Why? Because it is a field that has specialists who doubt us. Right? What can journalists report? They can't report anything. Or they can misquote us, or they can report something that they think is not their position, which is true. However, it's our duty also to explain to them that we are reporting something in simpler terms than what they use in their field. We are the link between the specialists in that field and the audience, let's say. So we're like a bridge. So the arguments can come from the specialists who think they know better, okay, and they think we're misquoting them. We're diluting what they know, okay. And even the confidence from journalists, we think that it's a complicated topic to be reporting on. I think it's too complicated or it's boring. Okay. So, what does it involve? Science, as we discussed last time, as he has just given us, is a study of man and the universe. Me and the universe. The universe of all the things under the stars and the sun, which is difficult to explain. We mentioned the issue of God last time, isn't it? Remember on that one? Because you don't understand this, that's why people believe there's God, because these things, how do they come about? But that's not for the business. Today, what we're saying then is that is what we can observe, measure, and experiment. Okay? So science is about observation rather, yes, measurement and experiment. Okay? Technology is the application of science. So when you're able to apply this, the science, it becomes technology. What we know, we have observed that birds fly, we observed there's fly, there's this. Then we apply that technology, make planes, becomes technology. Okay. We have heard people, we have heard the echo. An echo, when you speak, it's heard somewhere, and people can use the technology to record. We know that the voice can move from my point of view to you can hear it, isn't it? And people have created telephones. All those things. But technology is not about all what we have mentioned. Even in farming, agriculture, this also is a technology. The way we decide to make those bridges, to use bands, use of fertilizers, and other things, that's also technology. Fishermen, forests, when you let trees to grow, called regeneration, that's a science. Okay? So, science and technology, you can see it's pervasive. That is to say, it's everywhere. Anything you do is a technology, it's a science. But we always shouldn't be thinking that science or technology is when we are referring to these phones, laptops. As I implied if at the beginning of this lesson when I was saying, where's your phone? Where is it? This is only advanced technology or latest technology. Other technologies are there. Even those who started a fire, that's a technology, isn't it? How can you start a fire? Okay. But storing a fire as well, matches or using electricity, that's fire. Okay. There are different types of technologies. You can also think of physics as technology. We discussed chemistry, zoology. When you go to zoo, that's a science. Taking animals in the bush, putting them somewhere. Marine biology, geology, ecology, all those. Okay. But then, when uh, we are reporting technology, there are challenges that we're faced with. So, the challenges, there will be challenges that we meet in that. Uh, as I said, you should know that you are a bridge between a science world and the ordinary audience, okay, which does not understand the terms, the different terms in science and technology. So it's up to you now to understand in their language, but translate in the language of the ordinary person. Eh? That's a challenge. You must sometimes end up misquoting those people or misrepresenting facts. So you need to be able to be relevant parts of the knowledge into words which your audience can understand. You have to do that. Eh? But the scientists will not be happy with some of the changes. Eh? They would like you to use their own terms, the terms. Oh? Another challenge is that you will not have to. Did you hear the first challenge? Mariam, you're writing? This time I'm sure. All right, let's continue. So, that was the first challenge of being a gap, a bridge between world of science and your community or your constituents. Okay? When we say constituents, don't mean that you become an MP, do we? I mean that. The people you represent. You don't need to know as much as the scientists themselves. No. You simply need to be able to put the relevant parts of their knowledge into words which your audience can understand. Number two, you do not have to understand the whole of any field of science yourself. But you must not write anything you do not understand. Remember this, Mariam? Don't write anything you don't understand. Challenges of facing journalists. Number two, we say you do not have to understand the whole of the field, of any field of science yourself. But you must not write anything you don't understand. Why is it that when you write something you don't understand, being risky? It's risky because then what are you communicating? You only communicate something you understand properly yourself, isn't it? Okay. Number three, uh, science aims at being precise. And scientists, they like precision. But the journalists, we like simplicity. Hmm? That's to say, there should be no conflict between the two, precision and simplicity. That's the real challenge of reporting science and technology because you want to make it simple while the scientists want it to be precise. Okay. Number four, for every story, you must ask yourself, how will this affect my readers or listeners? Okay, let's say always try to have a human face to the story. Okay, find how it's going to help the how are the listeners, or if you're on radio, you're writing for radio, how is the story going to benefit the listeners? If you're writing for newspaper, you think how are the readers, TV, their viewers, isn't it? What about those who are on the web or on the net? We're saying when you're writing a science story, always find a human angle. When we say human angle, what do we mean by that, Tadala? A human angle in a story. You're not far from it. So know what it will be of interest to the people who are reading it, isn't it? Because you may be carried away just writing about science as if science exists on its own. But the whole idea of having science and technology is to benefit the people. Of course, there are others that may not immediately benefit, but still find an interest, a human interest. Like we gave an example of trying to explore or discover stars, new planets. The interest may not be, the benefits may not be, but somebody is still interested. Eh?
I have a question.
Please.
So, like what you're saying, does that also imply in blogs, like the challenges that you
It's a
have?
challenge as well. Because to make any human's interest from science story is a challenge for journalists. Yes. So most science and technology will have human applications. For every story, you must ask yourself, how will this affect my readers? That's for newspapers, isn't it? Or listeners, that's for radio. Viewers, that's for TV. Eh? Yeah? Surfers. Because surfing, surfing, eh? On the internet we surf, isn't it? So those who are surfing. But surfing on the internet, you can surf for video, you can surf for audio, you can surf for text, eh? You can surf for visuals. Okay. Um, okay. So your job is to describe what those effects are, or rather, those effects are. Okay, remember the four criteria for what makes news? Remember we discussed last time. Eh? Eh, should be new, should have human interest. Okay, what else? We put that last. Eh?
Yes.
Mm. Mm.
Deep in book.
Criteria for news. You should don't forget. Eh? Yeah. Because every time whatever you're doing, whether it's science, culture, what, you always have to think. Okay. So criteria by which news is judged, it should be new, unusual, interesting, or significant about people. Eh? Yes. This how news these are the major ones. There are several others. But is it new? Yes. Okay, fine. Is it unusual? Eh? The man bites dog. It's unusual to hear if you hear that we have lions in a church. Yeah? It's not a human interest, but I mean, it may be human, it may be both, but it's unusual, isn't it? But if somebody say, he has found lions in the wound, can you put that one? Huh? People moving, going to Blood, they have seen lions in the wound. So what? They're supposed to be there, Eh? Somebody moving has found a frog in the river. But say he has found a frog in the bottle of Coca-Cola. That's new, isn't it? It's unusual. But can you report you have found a frog in the Longo River and write a story busy there sweating? We can't. So it should be unusual. Is it interesting or significant? Okay. We have moved that way because we're trying to show unusualness. Eh? Okay. So those are the four criteria for what makes news. Then the fifth challenge is some science, such as astronomy, has no impact. You know what it means by astronomy? Tada. Astronomy means what? Again? You don't know? Mariam, ever heard about astronomy? Okay.
You said science such as astronomy.
Astronomy, yes. Astronomy is the branch of science that deals with celestial objects, space, and the physical universe as a whole. Eh? Okay.
So you said the challenge. I wanted you to come again on the challenge. Science such as astronomy.
No, that's a challenge. We'll continue on that one. Eh? I wanted us to understand the name of astronomy first, the meaning. Do you understand it? You understand it?
From what you said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So after we understood that one, let's continue. Eh? Okay. So some science, such as astronomy, has no impact when you're somebody studying about celestial objects, like space, physical universe. There's no. Okay. It has no impact on our everyday lives. Nothing. By discovering new science doesn't mean that you will have more food on your table, or you will be healthier, or stronger, or more intelligent in class. But it's interesting in what it tells. Eh? You're still interested to know about that. Eh? Okay. If somebody tells you there were 3 billion stars in the universe. Now there are three more have been discovered. Somebody may say three. If you're not a scientist, maybe three doesn't make sense. But if you're a scientist, you wonder where were these stars before? Okay, is creation continuing, or we didn't discover? Huh? Okay. So it's interesting to read about the universe. The task here is to report it in an interesting and formative way. Formative way. That's to say, as storytellers, journalists can tell a better story than a scientist or never from before. Eh? So you don't communicate that to people, but it's a challenge, yeah, to make something like that interesting. Eh? Okay. And then we have number 6. That's a challenge. You must always be accurate. Science is built on accuracy. And the last one, which is number 7, your readers or listeners usually trust science. Your readers or listeners usually trust science. Um, yeah. When people say this is scientific, even in research, when they say research is scientific or anything scientific, people think it's factual and there's trust for that, isn't it? Okay. That's why you can take drugs without questioning them until the results are found otherwise. Otherwise, they discover vaccine for the coronavirus. You take it without qualms. Did you take the coronavirus vaccine? So, okay, you did, Mariam? No. Korea? Tadala? Both. You didn't take both. Okay, fine. Okay, so your readers or our listeners usually trust us. Often, in fields such as medicine, their lives may depend on it. Uh, so, don't alarm them. Don't sensationalize. Eh? Sensation. Do you know what means sensationalize? Writing where you use a lot of adjectives, exaggerations, adverbs. Yeah. You tend to go to the extremes. Eh? Right. Okay. The basics of reporting. Mhm. Right. You should use the same techniques for good journalism. Okay. When reporting science and technology.
You should.
You should use the same techniques for good journalism. You should use the same good techniques for good journalism when reporting science and technology. Okay? So, the following are the techniques. For example, number 1 technique. Build up a basic knowledge. What means here, not only in science and technology, whatever you are going to be reporting on, always, you must understand to some level the basics of that field. Okay, what are the rules that govern that field? And in this case, in science and technology. Okay, then you can work out the rest of the topic, even though you will not understand all the details. But know the rules. Uh, so, like in medicine, you need to understand the basic parts of the body and their functions. Okay, the terms. What are the? How does the brain function? Simple, not to the extent. Where is the brain? So you say he was hit on the leg and his brain was not working. Somebody will say, "What does that? Doesn't make sense. Was the brain on the leg?" Eh? Okay. So you don't need to know all the, as we said, all the ingredients, of course, but know the rules. Okay. Okay. So a secondary school education is fine. If you didn't do the something about that in your secondary school, read. Our job as journalists is about read and read. That's the next point. Next point is read widely. Read widely is a basic, or is one of the basics of reporting. Okay. So in this case, you have to read books on a basic sense. Okay. Don't read which is like textbooks which are too complicated. Read something simple. Start from that point. You grow into it. If that will be your beat or around. Do you understand the beat or around? Okay. So now you understand the beat or around. Around. Maria? No. Magali? What's a beat or around?
A bit. It's like an area of reporting where you
Sure.
specialize.
Yes. We need to remember this. A beat is where you are interested to. If you are, for example, you are reporting about sports, means that's a sports beat, or sports round. In America, they call it round. In a culture, sometimes you're interested in that culture, or religion, or health. It means that you have picked that one as your beat. Okay? Hey, okay. So read widely in that. Number three, make contacts. Contacts. Okay. So here, you have to get to know as many scientists as possible. Mhm. Scientists and technologists as you can. These are people who can give you advice, who can give you help, and give you information. Okay, where you don't understand. This, so you can say this applies in other fields as well. Don't be all alone. It means you'll be writing nothing. That I'm a journalist and still, well, it's like you're a journalist, yes. So you're like a car without fuel. You need fuel. It's a car without tires. A car will need tires, isn't it? So for you to move, yes, you have an engine. You're an engine, but you need to be fed. Yeah? You need the oxygen to flow. So choose people who can give you one, story ideas. Do you know a story idea? Story idea means there's a journalist, every journalist, wherever you are. You create your own job. Let's say, what am I going to? You go to a newsroom or to dates, up your up, you say, what am I going to write? That's why I always insist. A journalist, a good journalist, normally doesn't go about looking for job. You already have the job. Start writing. People will see if those who want to employ you, employ. You make a choices. Okay. So, um, always, make sure you have an idea, but you cannot create the idea on your own. You get from sources. Okay. Choose people who can give you story idea, background information, the names of people you should ask for further details. They give you a story idea. They can give you background information. Some will not be will be no. Okay, for example, you go to Ministry of Science and Technology. It was maybe it's like somebody at a low level, but it's not allowed to speak to the press. But it gives you all the information, an idea, and background information. But it will tell you, can you talk to the PS? Okay, so you're already equipped with background information. That means now you're asking pertinent questions for detailed story later. The PS, but somebody will have already given you some information. Okay. Um, you can quote them in your stories if they are experts. Yes, if they're experts. But if they're not experts, don't quote them. You cannot quote somebody who's not an expert in a story of an expert. Somebody is not a scientist, but has an idea. Just take that as an idea, talk to the scientists themselves. Okay. Number four, that's on the basics of reporting, building trust. Okay. I'll read out this one. Many scientists do not trust journalists. And I should add here, it's not only that. Lawyers don't trust journalists. Politicians don't trust journalists. Nobody trusts a journalist, especially when they're reporting something they don't want to hear about. Some will argue you are misquoting them. Some will say you are misrepresenting them. Some say you don't understand what they're talking about. Okay. They'll find all those arguments which to put forward against the journalists. So they may not think you are capable of reporting their work properly, or they may have a bad, or they may have had a bad experience with journalists in the past. So they may have been misquoted or even or seen errors in the story or a story. This way, the way the journalists report about science and technology, I'm not going to talk to them. So it's up to you now to show that you can be trusted. Yes, your friends made mistakes or are making mistakes, but show that you're different. Okay. This will help you to do some background. You have to do some background first, of research of your own before interviewing somebody. Don't go there to learn. Do some background research. Okay. It's just enough say trust me. No, you have to show it in every story that you write. It is you. If you make careless errors or not keep a promise, you will lose their trust forever. Well, mistakes are going to be made, but to a minimum level, minimum. Huh? Okay. Then the last but one, dig for the truth. Yes. Okay. Don't trust friends just because somebody's friend to you and then you say this is the truth. Now sometimes they're doing that in good faith, but they don't understand themselves. So what means here? Much of science is built on experiments and on trial and error. So in many fields, a number of scientists may be working on the same topic and may reach different conclusions. True. They can be looking for experiments in the coronavirus vaccine, but they will have different conclusions. So everyone will be trying to argue in support of what they were part of, right? Even so, it looks better than what others have been doing. It's like competition. So they're competing against each other. They may occasionally make big claims, show how important they are, or try justify money being spent on their research. Let's say they're funded by other people to research, so they want to show that they know the job. Yeah. So therefore, you must question their claims by asking probing questions. Okay. If you still feel unhappy about what you have been told, go to the experts that in that field. Yeah. I know we have found these drugs. It can cure 37 diseases. And you're happy clapping hands? No. Ask. Okay. And then the last one on the basics of reporting science and technology is be skeptical. Be a doubting Thomas, be a doubter always. And I should say, both journalists and scientists, they're always skeptical about, and they like questioning, yeah? And that maybe the process is different. So scientists have always been inquisitive. As much as journalists, we are very inquisitive, to get to the truth. Somebody can just tell something and take it as truth and report it. I should say that, just a moment. Science and technology companies, for example, they will offer you a lot of sorts of free samples. They will give you, go and test this one, okay? Advice and even prepared news stories, press releases, they'll give you those. Uh, they will discuss this by saying these are important medical breakthrough and always question their claims and always balance what they say. Don't just take it on face value. No. Okay, let's continue. Let's go. So the last one was being skeptical. Okay, let's go to news gathering. We should know that we are repeating this one for the benefit of Tadala, and you guys might take the notes. Okay. So once you have established some basic knowledge and good contacts, you can put them to work in reporting science and technology. But also get to know that this approach is for any other writing, eh? Yes, for any other writing. Okay. So, number one, when you're gathering your news, is it about people? That's number one. Okay. Because you may end up gathering news, which is not. So, whenever possible, look for the human angle in your stories, gentlemen. So we are on news gathering. Should it be about people? When we say about people, we mean human angle. The people who would be affected by the development, what would they be affected by? Right? The people who use the technology, number two. Uh-huh. Okay. So the people will be affected by the development or technology, how it will affect them. Okay. Number two, the people who use the technology directly. And then three, the scientists themselves, and technologists. Let's give an example of those who developed uh, digital platforms, maybe for banking. First, there are those who use those, those who made those who develop those platforms. They won't hear about that one. What they want to know about. Then those who use, like we are using extra money, pump, and all those things, what's our interest? And then those who benefit, we can also be beneficiaries. Who benefit from that? That's what I mean here. Those are technologies as well, isn't it? Instead of going to the bank, instead of sending your children or your sister to go to the bank, you simply transfer. Instead of going to the bank to deposit money, the money is just transferred.